Pierre El Daher of Lebanese Broadcasting Company joining us now, and I want to bring him in to this whole discussion about the Arab media. And it's good that we can have a discussion because the Arab media has really risen to the fore. Lebanese Broadcasting Company, of course, has been around for years, rather independent-minded and controversial at times, certainly within Lebanon. And I just want to ask you whether this isn't sort of a settling of scores, if you will, for the international or the Western news media in particular. Number one, ignoring Arab affairs. Number two, casting them in a political or a diplomatic light very unfavorable to the Arabs.
Yes. What I'm saying is that, first of all, let's be fair also in the coverage of this present war in here, is that the Western media is not actually present in Iraq. So basically, we cannot judge about the fairness of the Western coverage in here since they are hampered by them not being present there. But this brings back to mind about what happened in 1991. In 1991, we saw the war mainly through the eyes of CNN. They were the only one who were present there. And at that time, we got a real nice picture of the war, which was rosy and bloodless. Now I'm asking myself, since we are there, and this is an advantage for the Western media, and it is a big advantage for the Arab media. Was it true, whatever we saw in 1991? Was it the whole truth? This brings to mind what happened about 3 or 4 days ago, when we got reports from the Iraqis saying that, you know, there was a fierce battle in Nazariya, and that there might be some killed Americans and some POWs. When we checked this with the American authorities, they said, no, we don't know about anything about this nature. So we had to wait for some gruesome pictures to be shown on TV in order to believe it. In here, it's, you know, we have doubts about, are we really getting the whole picture?
Pierre, it's Zain Verji in Atlanta. I'm just wondering, from what you've just said, do you think that the Western media has been fair, has been balanced in its coverage of the war in Iraq?
Well, again, I'm saying up to right now, the Western media is hampered by the fact that they are not, all of them are not present in Baghdad. I think CNN has been out of Baghdad in the last 3 or 4 days. No, giving this, they are not really covering both sides, because we have access as Arab media in Baghdad to things that are put into the hands of the Western media, and the Western media is either ignoring it or they're just, you know, just running very short pieces of it. The other side is that not all the information that is channeled from the Iraqi side is being shown on American media.
Do you, your broadcasting corporation, do you make an effort to include American voices on the material that you air? Do you take live press conferences from Donald Rumsfeld from the White House, for example? Is there an effort to bring that into your broadcasts?
To the best of my memory, from the first day that we started, we have not missed one single event made by the American side. All the live conferences, all the briefings were relayed on air live. We're trying also to do the same thing from the Iraqis. We are going after the American officials on one hand, and after the Iraqi officials also, in order to get their point of view. No, I think we have been pretty much fair in covering the Western side of this war.
Gentlemen, let me put this to both of you very briefly, if I can. Do you think the history of the regime of President Saddam Hussein, its history with its own people, its history with its neighbors, is fair game in this story right now? Or should we only be talking about the war in Iraq right now? Pierre, you first.
I don't think it is fair to do it right now, because, I mean, there was a lot of propaganda saying that this war will be won in 72 hours. There was a lot of saying that the Iraqi people will be just waiting there and applauding for the incoming troops. I don't think this happened. This is the 7th day of the war. None of this happened. So I don't think we should go into that line because we will be overdoing. Let's wait and what is the situation on the ground, and we might have some surprises.